Okay, so we're live. Today I'm doing an art order. So I believe I said before, I'm always going to be drawing the sketch first before I post it, and this is the pose. I mean, let me check something really quickly. It looks pretty proportional. Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna be drawing this person's character, this character. You kinda see their username of who did the art. I honestly don't know, it ain't mine, but either way, it's just here so I can, go in here, see what colors they use so it looks nice. Yeah, anyway, and I drew the body. That's all I really did before I did this, so not much of a sketch, but I'm not gonna get bored of it and just stop drawing because, hey, this is an art order. I'm gonna finish it, so that's what I always do. Art orders. If I was just commissioned to always draw my own characters, I would have so many pieces of my own characters. I swear I draw more art orders than I do with my own characters. Totally neglect my own art. It's like, who cares drawing for myself? Let's draw for other people. Hooray! But either way, oh yeah, today's Mother's Day. That's cool. We pretty much just celebrated Mother's Day yesterday because it's always insane on Mother's Day to celebrate it because everything's just going crazy. And I don't know about you, but this hand looks a little too small. Usually I draw my hands a little small. Either way, it's too crazy to celebrate on actually Mother's Day. I mean, have you ever tried to go out to eat on Mother's Day? Treat you like cattle and the food's not even good? So we're just like, nah. We don't celebrate a day before. We do, and it's fun. So technically, for us, most of the time, holidays are the day before the holiday to avoid all the insanity or the rush. Or maybe they're the day after, it depends. You know, it's always good to celebrate things the day after because if it has a specific merchandise for it, then that merchandise will be going on sale afterwards. Usually a big sale just the day after. So you do that, and then you get all your stuff for cheap. And you avoid the crowds and the rush. Ain't that great? Yeah, great. But either way, forgot to check something too. You guys cannot hear the desktop audio. Why? Why can't you hear the desktop audio? You can hear the desktop audio or not? I don't know. I have this going on. It's pop music. It doesn't sound like it, but it still sounds pretty good. And what are you? What is this? Actions recommended? What? Audio filters? I don't get this. Okay. Let me see over here on the other side of just my screen. See what's going. And also check if the stream's going good. Yeah, live. It's been 3 minutes. That's cool. Okay, let me look. Shoot. No, let me see if I can find my own video. Can't find it on YouTube. I don't know. Something was just added to watch later. I don't know how that happened. I didn't click add to watch later on anything. Just looking around on this thing. Well, yeah. Okay, then I can't find it. I can't find it to see if it sounds good or bad. Or if you can even hear it. Let me just... Face. This guy has weird freckles. I don't know if this is a guy or a girl. People go crazy if you assume their gender, quote unquote. So, it's a thing. It's a human. That's what it is. And that goes like that. Oop. There's some wavy hair. It goes like this. And then there's, it's just moves, wavy hair everywhere. I'm probably gonna go off on my own thing with the waves. Just gotta mimic this. But they kind of have, you know, the idea of it. This one going to about the neck. And what they kind of have on that. Usually with these things, you could just, with hair, you don't have to draw it perfectly. I mean, people try to do that. They have like a set hairstyle with every single piece of hair going in the same place. Remember, I used to have that. I'd like count out the pieces of hair of some of my characters because I draw in the anime style where, you know, you don't really draw the hair, you draw just a little outline of the hair, extremely simplified, and you have that exact same hairstyle, exactly the same. And if I didn't draw it perfectly for somebody, I'd go insane. Now I'm just like, meh, whatever. I know it's wavy, so that's what I'll do. And you know, if you had a character you kind of worry about all the time, you know, oh, their hair is too nah, don't worry about that, dude. It never looks exactly the same. Don't make it look exactly the same. Spice it up. Make it not perfect every single time. Make the character's hair progressively more wavy as you go on. That's what happens to some of my characters. Like, I kind of look at their reference, but then I'm like, I got it. And then I realize that with every single piece, like, their hair gets progressively more curly. Like, well, this is great. Ugh, this sounds horrible to me. Here, I finally have this thing so I can listen to if I can hear the music. In a second. No, you can't hear any music. What is this? What is this horror? Let me turn it all the way up. Desktop audio. I know you're doing things. I know where this is going. This is annoying. Well, I'm muting it on my end, but I know it doesn't matter. Well, nope, you can't hear anything. I guess I could just get rid of this. So, you can't hear any background music. That's nice. Oh wow, look at all that stuff in my recommendations. That's Okay, cool. Alright then, well, this is a different video I was using to copy the link on the bottom. Oh! Someone's watching! Is that just me? I hope that's not just me. No! It isn't just me! I always wonder if it is me who's watching it, because I watch my stream, or at least have it pulled up on my other device, so that I know what's going on with it. So if something weird happens, I can be like, hey, something weird is happening. The audio suddenly stopped working, but don't be afraid to tell me if it does stop working. Either way, I'm gonna have music playing on my own headphones in a different place that you can't hear, so I can listen to my own non-royalty free music. Sorry, it's just gonna be in the background for me, but kinda had to listen to something myself because I like silence, but then I go insane. I'm trying to figure out if this character has a ponytail. Oh, you know what it probably is? Here, let me show you. It's probably a ponytail is right here. That's probably it, and it's being covered kind of by the hat. Alright then, well, that's what I'm gonna draw. I mean, I guess it kind of goes off to the back, because if you look at this, no, if it is what I said it was, then it's probably these are all part of the ponytail. You see, these ones, probably all part of the ponytail. Let me erase that so it doesn't impede my own drawing later on. So let me just erase some of this. Yeah. That hair is way too. Okay, let me just go back all the way. Okay then. You gotta give it a little bit of volume, but just, I guess not too much volume. You don't want to make it look like they literally have a pillow on their head. Unless that's what you want to go for with the character. I don't want to make this character look like he has literally a pillow on his head. I'm gonna call him a dude. I'm just gonna call him he. That's not the character's gender. I'm sorry. Honestly, couldn't care less. That's the body type I'm giving him, because that's the body type he has in here, is more masculine, with no, you know, no breasts. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I mean, I don't know if people are like, oh my gosh, she said breasts. Oh gosh. I mean, it's just a thing in drawing. It's something you have to draw when you draw ladies. I mean, some ladies. It depends on what lady you're drawing, you know? You could be drawing not a lady, but a little girl. Or a little baby. This is turning into something really weird. I'm sorry. I'm just talking about it. Drawing. Wow. I regret everything I say. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for who I am. Oh well. I apologize for everything I say. Please don't take it out of context. I never mean anything weird about it. I usually mean it when I'm drawing and I'm saying something like that. I usually mean it immediately in a drawing sense. Just in a practical, oh yeah, little babies, they don't have breasts, you don't have to draw them. That's cool. Okay. I mean, my gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking for a little while and reevaluate my life choices. I wonder if we lost the one person that was watching. Yep, we lost the one person who was watching. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am so sorry. So we lost that person. We're probably just like, nope, this person's way too weird, I'm done. Okay, sorry. I apologize. This wisp of hair is probably longer. You ever come to those moments where you just kind of have something to say, but and it's not weird at all, or it's not supposed to be weird, but no matter how you say it, it just always ends up bad, and you try to save yourself, and it just sounds worse, and you're just like, oh my gosh, honestly didn't mean it like that. Yeah, that's okay. Fancy, schmancy eyes. Oh, done. One thing about eyes that a lot of people do is they'll draw just this, you know? And one thing I gotta tell you guys is that all pupils are circles. If you draw them like this, then that makes some weird thing that just goes off. So always, before you even have actually draw them, draw the circle with the pupils will be the iris and the pupil. That's the eyelashes, right? Yeah. So that no matter what, it always makes a circle. Wait a second. Yeah. This person drew kind of lines, but I can't tell if that's supposed to be like cat eyes or it looks like it's supposed to be normal, but just anime style. So you can see, like, this person has oval eyes, which isn't anatomically correct, but people know that most of the time. They're like, yeah, I get that it's not anatomically correct, but it's still what I want to do with the character, and that's fine. I kind of wonder what expression his character has. It looks kind of like an apathetic character. I feel like his eyes might be just eyebrows. Kind of thick. Sharp. And then nose. Looks kind of small. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a button nose. It's all I got is a front view, so no. we don't really get enough to know every single thing, and I have to make a lot of assumptions with this. Then again, most people just have, when they draw, they kind of have the same exact body shape for the characters. They never think, what's the nose shape? They think, oh, nose. Usually it's just a triangle. I mean, I'm just talking about people who start out with character designing. That's what I did too. I never thought this character has a more Roman nose, this character has a snub nose, this character has a button nose. And I fell into that trap too. A lot of people do. And that's fine to eventually to fall into that trap as long as you can pull yourself out of it. Now you can realize that's not how it usually works. I can still draw in my style, but can have different nose shapes or different face shapes, but it could still be my style and have much more variety. You know what I'm talking about? So I've still kept my style over the ages, but in the same way I've been able to add a lot more variety through understanding how to implement the variety in my own way. I mean, a lot of people use it's just a style way to cop out for not having variety or not drawing anatomically correct, but you can still have your own. You can still have your own style, but I'm just looking at this guy and thinking of how different his expression is from his body signs. He looks like he just looks so annoyed. I think it's mostly because he looks like he's. Oh, yes. That's the perfect eye placement for this annoyed looking character. No, I'm not gonna keep that, but I really like it. I'll keep that in mind for some of my characters who totally embody that, but I don't feel like that would be the personality. It's the eye shape, that's it. Because I don't want him to look that mad, I want him to look more apathetic, you know? Because inside this picture, he kind of looks a touch angry, but more or less just looks like, meh, do whatever you want. It's none of my business. But also, in the same way, looking like a proper and gentle person. Because I still don't know the gender. Okay, there we go. You see? I mean, I was trying to imitate the style with this, but when you do that, they just look really angry. Different people have different eye shapes when they're angry, you know. The eye will just change differently. It's kind of hard to show because I still am having a lot of trouble doing it. When it's happy, you'll kind of get it's scrunched up over here. When it's sad, it'll be scrunched up over here. At this part over here will sag, kind of like that. And you're angry, it'll be narrowed. So sometimes people do the narrow eyes for character, but in the end, they're just like, oh, it's a design. Yet you could be giving them a personality that doesn't embody them. So be careful how you're designing a character that. Your narrow cat eyes don't make it look like they're angry when the character is supposed to be like maybe naturally a happy-go-lucky character, yet in the end their Neko cat eyes make them look extremely angry all the time. That's just saying careful. I don't know if that was purposeful. I don't know how this character's personality is. I just know the picture and I'm just making guesses. And usually if you don't know the personality, a good thing to do is to just guess that they're apathetic and then draw them apathetically. Because if you draw them with a neutral expression but still draw it good, you know, if you draw them kind of looking apathetic or bored, every person gets apathetic or bored. But, like, think of it this way. Somebody commissions you to draw a soldier character. You're like, okay, I don't know what this character's personality is like. I don't know anything, so I'm gonna draw them super happy. Because you want to draw a happy expression. Turned out that character is a hardened soldier and is never happy in a day in his life. For some reason, you know? I'm just putting stereotypes on here to prove a point. And you're just like, oh shoot, but that character could have done well, probably, with an apathetic looking face. Well, it could also be turned the other way, where you have a really happy-go-lucky character, like a little cat or a little bunny character, and then you draw them really angry when that character probably never gets angry for any reason, because they're perfect or whatever. And then it's just like, oh, shoot. But if you had drawn them apathetically, you realize it could probably do well too with the happy personality, because hey, everyone gets bored, everyone kind of has that face, so that's what I feel like, at least. A lot of times you can infer a lot of the personality just from the picture alone, but oh, let's go. You can't infer too much from over here. I could guess gentlemanly, maybe really into fashion. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just talking about this person's character. I don't know why. I guess I don't really have anything else to say. I just really like characters, and I really like talking about character designs and what you can infer from characters. I do really like it. It's a really pretty character and has a lot of nice details. Oh, I just realized I'm gonna be drawing all those details because it's a full body. How did I forget that I was gonna be drawing those details? You know what? I know what's wrong. The head is too big. Well, good thing this is just the sketch, so that when I go over with lines, it won't look like crud. Oh my gosh, look how much better that looks. Holy crud. It's amazing. Wait a second. Yeah. No, I won't look. Yeah, you gotta have... Let me do Control T again. So I'm trying to... Wait 1 second, let me look myself. Yeah, it's usually more or less center, but a little bit too... with this side being definitely foreshortened. Another thing I see people do is when they draw 3/4, they draw the head, well, not the head, they draw the shoulders, so that this one is the one in the background that's turning away from us, the spectator, is longer than the one that's turning towards, when it should be the opposite way. And this one, the one that's always in the back, always foreshortened, even if it's just by a little bit. You see, if you measure it, this is where this one stops. So you can see it's foreshortened very small amounts, but still enough to give you kind of the idea What's going on? Let me clean this up a little bit. I like this hand. This is a good, pretty good hand. I feel like it. Wait a second. That would be going right over this. Can I do something with that? Wow, it was perfect until I started doing the sketch and realized how much actually got in the way. Okay, so let me draw on a separate layer. Where this is, let me just in a separate layer. Control copy, Control V. No, okay. Here. V. Then let me just, raise all the stuff around it so we can see where this little guy in the foreground's gonna be. It's gonna be like right here. It's undeleted to actually draw it, so let's just put it like, we should put it underneath. I don't know what this layer is. Nothing important. Still gonna be really light. So I can take this. Nope. There we go. I mean, does that still work? It's gotta work. Okay, that'll work. It would be I'd have to maybe make this a little bit smaller, or just have it being covered a little bit by the hand. There we go. One second. This is a lot better. This is turning out now. Gotta add pupils, even though I hate adding pupils because it always makes them look kind of insane. But that's because I always make them too small. Pupils are usually relatively big inside the iris. They aren't small, because that just looks weird. Because it doesn't even look like an eye, because I didn't even go into the process of drawing an eye. Because I know I could do it good, but I want to do it quickly. Because I'm lazy. Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna be right back. I have to use the restroom. Look up. Yes. Talk. Yeah. Let's just. So you guys can have a little bit of fun while I take my time. Have fun with that, you guys. Okay, so guess who's back? Moi. Alright then. Let's go back into it. I hope you had fun with the, picture of the guy in the bathtub wearing a suit with the duck on his head. I always love seeing those things. And thought, a while ago, hey, it might be fun when I'm taking my time. You guys could just look at a really dumb picture and wonder why the heck was that made. Well, it looks like somebody replied to this about 10 minutes ago. Shoot. Can I draw with you with Hangouts or Skype, please? Switch Moon TV. Thing is, that would be fun to do for, maybe a later video, if we can get into contact, but right now, I'm inside the middle of an art order, so I really just want to finish this, but it might be fun for a later video. And also another thing is that I can't use Skype because I was locked out of it, and locked out of my account. I need a phone number to get into it. I have a phone, we'll get into that later. And it did that because the freaking thing, I had to send an email to give me the verification code so I can change my password, because I forgot my password, because I have like 15 variations of the same exact password. Not going to lie, it's because the freaking thing, every single time I enter in a new password, it's like, oh, asks to meet all these different criteria, so I have the same password but 15 different variations to fit every single one, and then by the time I go back to that account, it's just like, I don't know what variation this thing needed. Ha ha ha. Either way, I was going to go do that, and it timed out on the page where I needed to put into the verification code before I could put in the verification code, and couldn't get back to that page because I was on mobile. And then I had them send it again, and they said that my emails were being used for spam, so they said they just locked my account. Like, input your phone number. And I'm like, I don't have a phone number. So either way, I might have to make a new Microsoft account, because my entire Microsoft account is just gone. It's just not there anymore. But either way, and Hangouts, let me check out what that is. I don't really know. Google services. Verify your phone number easily. Great! Verify your phone number. I don't have a phone! Usually the reason why I'm going into college and I don't have a phone. I've never had a phone. We have one family phone. Usually the reason why people have phones is I was just told to be quiet, and don't know why. I guess there's a baby asleep, but ooh, gonna be quieter. Gonna talk really slowly into the mic like this. No, I'm not. But either I'm gonna just have it closer to my face so I can be a little quieter. But like I was saying, the first reason why people have the phone is because their parents work, so they have enough money to buy a phone and have like 5 phones inside their family. Yeah, one parent worked, the other parent was a stay-at-home mom. I had a pretty cool upbringing, even though we didn't have that much money, so I can't complain. And the other reason is because they went into public school, so they needed to be able to call someone if something happened. I was homeschooled. I didn't need to call mom if something happened because she was already there, and that's on the shoulder. So I don't have a phone number. So I can't do either Hangouts or Skype unless I create a whole new Skype account. But for being able to draw together, maybe later on. I don't really know how to do that. I've never really drawn with anyone who wasn't inside the same room as me. So I couldn't really say. I don't really know how that would work out. We'd have to talk about it, See how it works? Maybe talk a little bit. Oh, someone else is here. Sabrina's Schultz. Schultz, not Schultz. That sounds so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for saying it that way. I read it wrong. Schultz. Hello, your art is so good. Thank you so much. This is my art. This is someone else's art. Mine, reference. Mine, totally did not draw this. Please do not credit me. Mine. Okay, glad we had that underway. Let me just... Honestly, I don't know who is the original artist for this. Yeah. But don't know who the original artist is. You could see the little signature right here, so it looks like it's a Y-U-X-X-I-E. It's probably Yuxie, probably on someplace like DeviantArt. It's where usually you see all the artists. It's okay, everybody butchers my name. Okay, sorry. I butcher a lot of people's names. A lot of people butcher my name. Like, nobody can spell my name. No one has ever spelled my name right in my entire life. My name is Carrie Ann. No one spells it right. I have a very strange way of spelling it. I'm not gonna spell it because I'm probably the only person in the entire world who can spell. I did not mean to do that. I meant to go over here so I could look them up. Who has that name spelled like that. So if you were to look it up, you'd find the only person in the world who has that name, and you could easily stalk me. Please don't stalk me. I don't want that. But either way, somebody spelled it Carynthia. Out of Carrie Ann, they got that spelling. And here, let me just... This is how it was spelled. I will never not laugh at that. Oh, I will never not laugh at that name. At the way that was spelled. I love it so much, because she was a neighbor who spelled it that way. And she's a grandma, she's pretty old. We watch her dogs, and I think I mentioned she's a neighbor. I just forgot what I said. If I said she was a neighbor, I might just be a broken record right now, but she's old, and we watch over her dog. She has 3 really sweet German Shepherds. She's such a nice lady, and she spelled my name like that on a gift card that she gave me for Christmas, and I was just like, my name is spelled wrong, but this is so nice and also hilarious. So thank you. I'm not even gonna tell you spelled it wrong. I'm just gonna mention that my name was Carrie Ann. I think I did that by Mom calling me Carrie Ann in front of her, and then just never saying anything else again. Oh, she's such a sweet lady, though. Sabrina Schultz said, BRB, I'm going to subscribe on my main YouTube account too. You deserve more subs. Thank you so much. Amazing. You guys... People on YouTube are so sweet sometimes. I mean, sometimes there are those, YouTube commenters who was literally just Clorox bleach, like, ah ha ha, you should take a video drinking me. It's like, ah ha ha, so funny. But all I'm getting is really nice people over here. Thank you for all the support. You people are amazing. I love you. Don't know. Jeez. Trying to give him a form, but it just looks like he's wearing a potato sack. Here. This looks good. Trying to see how this works. It looks like this part goes over the vest, so it looks like it goes like this. I'm guessing, so this goes over, but it looks weird when I draw it like that. Oh well, that's how it's drawn in the design, so... let's do it that way. Alright then. Just get this like this. Looks really nice. Well, at least I think that looks nice. I'm proud of it. Okay, well, I stopped talking for some reason. I don't know why. I should be talking more, but when I draw, usually only things I really have to talk about is what I'm drawing, and then I end up criticizing other people's work. And I don't want to criticize too much, because a lot of times when people criticize other people's work, they get so triggered, you know, oh my gosh, how could you criticize my work? I put so much time into that. But honestly, there's one thing that's very true. Better harsh words from a friend than a kiss from an enemy. And that could be taken with art too. It's better to have people telling you that something's wrong with your art and maybe you should fix it kindly as a friend than a bunch of people who just want to suck up to you telling you that it's amazing. So try to take people's criticism as people just trying to help you get really good at art, as people who want to see you actually succeed. So when a person tells you, looks like the anatomy on your hand is a little messed up, don't think of, oh my gosh, how dare you say this, but instead think of it as, wow, someone took the time to look over and see where I needed to improve, and they took the time to comment on it, so that must mean that this person really cares about whether or not I improve on my art. So think of it that way. Think of it as this person really cares about your art enough to try to help you improve on it, and to want to see you succeed. Because let me tell you one thing. A person is not gonna go up to you and try to help you out with something if they don't want to see you succeed in something. So yeah, if you take criticism too harshly, and maybe think of it that respect. 29 Days said, and this is my main account, you could just call me Sabrina. It's weird when I'm referred to as 29 Days. Well, I just called you that. Sorry, Sabrina. I read your name before I read the comment, but yeah, that's the YouTube account that they're going, so on. Alright then. Thank you so much for following me, for subscribing to me twice, though. That's awesome. I told her I was cuffs for. Okay. Different cuffs. Kinda looks like a pirate's cuff. Oh well. Wait. Oh my gosh. He's leaning. I just noticed that. Okay, so one thing I believe I've mentioned a bit inside my drawings is that if you put them to the left or to the right, if you kind of invert the way the picture is, they'll often look like they're tilting a bit. And you might want to fix that. Because one thing with art is that you always got to see it from a new pair of eyes. But sometimes there's not always someone who can look at it and try to help you see what you can improve on in the art through a new pair of eyes. So one way to doing that is just to invert the drawing, and not the colors, the way it's facing. And usually with traditional drawing, you don't always have the option to do that. Also, this character is not fit to page. Okay, that's better. Now, yes, the lines are a little really blurry, but this is just a sketch. There's gonna be, lines all over. I'm gonna go on with good lines, be like, there are some clear lines. Not actually gonna draw it like that. Criticism speech was so true. I'm still a beginner, and when people criticize me, my friends go after them. I just wish people could take criticism. Sabrina just said that? Yeah, it is true. I mean, I love to watch people who look at pictures of DeviantArt. I know it's just like a thing that, every YouTuber can go over. Like, I forgot what it is. I think it's Deviant Cringe is one of the person, and another person I watch is Solar Sands, and they give criticism, and it's really tough criticism, and usually with a kind of cynical or offensive jokes in it, but it's true, and then people go after him saying, people can't handle criticism because it discourages them from ever drawing. I'm like, I understand sometimes some criticism could discourage you from drawing, but if it does, then that's just bullying criticism. That's just saying, your art sucks, you'll never be better. But criticism in the way that would help you is always a lot better. It's just good. It's good. I stopped being able to talk good. But either way, I kind of forgot what I was talking about. And the thing with drawing is that you're paying so much attention to the drawing and all the other things that you're doing, and then you realize a mistake, and then you focus on that while you're talking, and then you completely forget about what you were saying, and then you stop talking inside the middle of it, and you realize, wait, I just forgot what I was saying. What? So that's what happens a lot while I'm drawing, is that I'll just be like, suddenly randomly be like, okay, I just drifted off, I forgot what I was saying. Hey, quiet! Someone's banging on my door. I think it's probably my brother. He sucks. Sometimes. I mean, he probably will eventually watch this someday. Probably not. He tells me, ha, your videos never get any views, you suck, you're gay. He talks like that a lot, but otherwise it's just joking, older brothers. He has stupid things like that. He doesn't actually suck. He's just annoying sometimes, and really teasing. And I say he sucks because he's annoying and really teasing because he's an older brother. And that's just older brothers. So Sabrina just said, yes, Soul Science is the best. And she said, can you give me some advice on my art later? You are so good, and I am so not. Yeah, definitely. I can give you some critiques on your work later on. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing that you have your work on YouTube, so I'll look really quickly to see if it is. Yeah, so your pieces are on YouTube, and okay, wait 1 second, I'm just thinking, because so could you give me some advice on my art later? Yeah, I can. I'll look at it a little while later, figure out how to. I'm so new to YouTube. I think there's a way to private message people on YouTube, but I don't know how to private message people on YouTube. I have some stuff on YouTube. My most recent is private though. Alright then, don't know how to do that either. I'm just thinking about how I'd go about giving you advice, because I'm thinking I'd want to do it privately and not really put a whole video on it, unless you'd like me to make a little video giving you critique, but I know some people would rather it not be public and just be private between two people, so I don't exactly know. I don't know how to private message people because I'm so new to YouTube, because I've never used this medium before, and all I've really used it to do was stream. And then once I learned how to stream, I didn't try to learn how to do anything else. This character doesn't have any pockets. How does he store things? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'll try to figure out how to do that later on, or talk to you later on, because I'd like to. And just so you know, I'm not good with talking with people. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. I'm like trying to hold a cool conversation with you. A whole video would be awesome, but that seems like too much effort. It would not be too much effort. I would definitely be alright with doing that. With it. Just taking a video and looking over your stuff and giving you some honest critique of where I think you can improve in life. In drawing, not life in general. I'm the guru, I'm a life guru, I could tell you everything you can succeed at. Nah, just a little bit at art. But yeah, I can definitely give you some tips through a whole video. That wouldn't be too much effort. I mean, I've never really recorded anything before, so that would give me a reason to record something. And my kitty is here. Hello, cat. You're a good cat. Someday when I have a video cam, I can show you. I could put your little face up there. People can see how absolutely adorable you are. Come on to my lap, child. Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted because there was a cat. She is now on my lap. This is kind of hard because she's probably going to lay halfway on my keyboard while I'm drawing. And I use my keyboard to draw because I press the hotkeys. Wait, I keep going to the wrong thing because I want to click on here instead of here. And if this wasn't the live stream, I could edit it out if I knew how to edit. But yeah, I believe I was saying the video would be fine. I'd totally be fine with doing that. And I drag on talking for as much as I can, because when I don't know what to talk about. I just sit here in silence. And I could give me reason to learn how to video edit and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure the cat is purring right into the microphone. Okay, I moved it away a little bit. She's so annoying. And soft. And kind of fat. And super fluffy. Oh. Yeah. Gives me a reason to learn how to record and edit so I could actually make proper videos. So if I promise you that I'd do it, then I would have a reason not to procrastinate on something, on learning how to do this whole YouTube thing. Hooray! Okay. I'm gonna stop talking now because I talk for way too long about that one thing. I ramble on a lot. And now I'm rambling or out rambling. Isn't that just great? I'm gonna get a drink of water. Well, my cat's off my lap now. That's cool. I'm gonna check something really quick. Okay, so Sabrina asked, when did you start to draw and when did you start YouTube? I started drawing when I was 3. I believe my best picture when I was 3 was a drawing of a penguin, and Mom could tell that it was a penguin. It was drawn with a green crayon. It was really bad, but Mom says it was really good for a 3-year-old because she could recognize what it was supposed to be. Ever since then, I've never really stopped drawing. There was never a point in my life where I just started drawing, where I just decided, oh, this is going to be something I was doing. No, just as a kid, I've always enjoyed drawing. I've always drawn all the time. Another thing my mom did for us, because my brother and I were homeschooled, is while she would read us the lectures, she'd allow my brother and I to draw while we did that. She understood the impulse to draw while listening because she did the same thing, and she understood how it helped high-strung people like me pay attention more when there's something to kind of keep your hands active. So I'm just always drawn throughout my life. I have so many sketchbooks full of pieces of art, and I'd love to do a video of me to my old art, but then again, I could do that for 6 hours because I only have 6 hours worth of footage because I have so many sketchbooks. And then I kind of got into digital art more when I was, how old was I? 11, 13? Either way, I joined this site, I'll show it to you really quickly, called Chicken Smoothie, which I'm still on a lot. Here it is, Chicken Smoothie. See this little site? I joined it, and I learned about this art program that they have already installed onto their thing. You don't have to install it, it's on their site. And let me show you it really quickly, so you could just be like, no, geez, I did not mean to click on that. And just click new drawing, and geez, just let me pull up the drawing thing. And they have this whole drawing program, granted it's not very good, on their website. And that's when I got into digital leaf page. I didn't even draw anything. Gosh, why is that thing still up? I got all into digital art because, hey, that happened, and I got really pretty good at drawing with a mouse. I mean, it was still bad, but I was doing better than I had been, and I learned how to draw with a mouse, and eventually I was like, you know what, I see some really great things that people do on digital art, I'm gonna buy a Wacom tablet. And I did, and I got the cheapest one they had for like $100, and I don't regret it, and the same one I'm using today. And I forgot to check when I got into digital art. Shoot, just gonna bring it up really quickly on my tablet, see where it was, because they have like the date that you joined and everything. And yeah, I was 11. I was 11 when I joined. Okay, then. No, was I 10 or 11? I was really young. Either way, yep, I was a little child person when I joined, right about my age, so I could talk to people and annoyed the cut out of people, and people were probably thinking, haha, this kid isn't 13, probably like 7. Now I was 11. I was just really immature at that age. Still am. Hooray for immaturity. Never gonna grow up. I don't know when I got this Wacom tablet. Could have been a few years ago. And then after a while, I got really bored of that drawing program on Chicken Smoothie. I was like, hey, I'm gonna find another one. I'm pretty sure there's some free ones I could download. Then I downloaded Firepaca. And well, I guess there's this history and still here. And when did I decide to get into YouTube? Or why? I don't know which one it is. Let me look. Why did you start YouTube? Well, it came from when I was drawing. Also, again, it came from, what do you call it? From Chicken Smoothie. Because people would have those join.me, I believe they were called. And it's kind of like a little live streaming program that when you're drawing, you kind of have it up, but then again, you don't have your voice, there's no audio, and there's a chat. It's kind of like this, and I always thought, I want to do that so much because I feel lonely when I draw, and I want to have people there to interact with. And that's always what I wanted to do, but I asked Dad, can I sign up for a Join Me program? And Dad immediately said no, and walked away. So, I spent a long time, and I would actually pretend that people were there with me talking about my art with me. And I would have these whole dialogues with people that were imaginary while I was drawing. And I did this all the way up until I got a YouTube account and started posting live streams. I always wanted to do this kind of thing. And just realized I did these wrong. And so I just decided, hey, you know what? Let's just start. Let's just do it. And our Radio Shack was going out of business. It still is going out of business. The store is still closing. They still haven't sold everything. It's like everything's 80% off. I was like, you know what? Let's go buy a really cheap microphone. And I did. And this one I had, it was supposed to be $30. I think I spent $10 for it. No, I spent $17 for this microphone and bought another pair of speakers that was $10. That was the sale price. So I got them a lot cheaper. Probably should have bought a webcam, but I didn't bring that much money because I was kind of low on money. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna bring enough money, and this is gonna be my budget, and I'm not gonna spend anything over it. And my cat is begging to be let out. Wait 1 second. If I don't let her out, she's going to literally meow for 10 hours straight. Probably has to use the restroom. Then she's probably going to come back in, begging to be let in. An annoying cat, but I love you. Don't know why I have to be quiet. I hear the baby is awake and in a different room. I don't know. Okay, so Sabrina says, I hated drawing until with 5th grade, I believe she's trying to say, last year, until I actually realized I could draw, and it started to be the best thing ever. I don't know what happened. I did YouTube because I wanted people to see my art. Yeah. Alright then. And a lot of people just kind of hate drawing all around. And then they learn how to draw and they're like, hey, this is fun. You can actually get your ideas out on paper. So, drawing is a pretty good thing. Even if you don't like it, it's still fun to doodle around. Even if you're not that good at it. Just to get your ideas out on paper and to express yourself. And yeah, it kind of sounds like my story with the YouTube. I did YouTube because I wanted people to see my art. Yeah, I just want to share my art. And DeviantArt, I have a DeviantArt. It's called Emily Ice Cream 7. I want to change it, but I have to spend money to be able to actually change my username. Or I could make a new account, which I'm not gonna do either. But I could. Well, I could just turn this account I have with a bad name into my adult account and then make a main account. But whatever. Whatever of all that stuff. That's why I joined DeviantArt. But so once again, I felt lonely while drawing, so I just wanted people to talk to. Wanted to at least get the impression that there are people right there with me listening. Keep forgetting, gotta draw the heart bouquet flower thing. Okay, other than that, is there any other detail I'm missing? Just like this right here, cool. Alright then. Yeah. wish I could post more quality stuff on YouTube, but all the stuff on YouTube is my crappiest stuff. I know sometimes I feel the same way. I mean, I've got a bad mic, bad computer, bad setup, noisy people in the background. But honestly, you go to any big YouTubers and you look at their first thing, usually all the stuff is just not good. And if you look at what they are today, just slowly getting better, slowly working harder, and just slowly improving, they eventually get into being really amazing creators. So just keep at it. Someday our crappiest stuff will just be a memory that we laugh at in reacting to my old video as collage, you know? Just keep it up and get better quality stuff, and unless you eventually get bored of it and then don't want to do it anymore. And if you do, then you could do that too. Do whatever makes you happy, dude. You know? I mean, people always ask me, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you like this? Why do you like that? My answer for them is, because I want to. Because I like it. That's the answer. I didn't really mean to click on that. Because my brother will ask me, why are you streaming on YouTube instead of streaming on Twitch? Twitch will get a lot more people watching you, and then I just look at him like, because that's what I want to do. I want to draw on YouTube, and I want to stream on YouTube. You know? Do what you want to. Don't let people just go up to you and say, well, why? This is better. Why don't you do things that are better? You know? This is cooler. No, just say, I'm doing this my way because I want to do it my way. And Serena says, OMG, my first video was a drawing of a 4-8 when I was 9, but I deleted it. But it sucked. Oh. Yeah, 9-year-old memories. Precious 9-year-old memories. My 9-year-old memories are completely repressed. Yeah. I don't think there's too many people in the world that are 9 years old that have really good drawings. I mean, they might have really good drawings for their age. Definitely. Always definitely. I mean, for their age, but you're never gonna get a 9-year-old with Picasso-like style. Unless a few little prodigies, but those people are just cheating on life. I swear they have literal cheat codes for life. And I want somebody to ban them. But then again, I can't, because this isn't a multiplayer computer game. This is real life, and you can't ban people from life. I mean, that would probably be murder if you were to try to do that. And I'm not gonna try to kill someone just because they're a prodigy. Why am I specifying that? Because people assume that stuff when you say things like that. When on the internet, people just assume that you will probably try to kill someone. And trying to figure out where these stars would go. His hand is good covering up all of them. Which is not good, because I mean, I feel like they're kind of a good part of the design, but I guess I could kind of move them off to the side. When I was 9, I drew wolves with faces that were shoe-shaped. I think a lot of times when people are 9 years old, they just kind of do this number, you know? Look at mommy, I made doggy, or something like that. I mean, even that's sometimes good. They kind of do, like, doggo. Even that's too good a quality for my 9-year-old work. When I was 9, I just found images of wolves on the internet. Not even wolves, just I would type in the words, get this anime wolf, and I would draw cartoonized style wolves. And I would pretty much have just completely traced them. I would just take it, put it on the screen, and just trace it out. And people were like, oh wow, your drawings are so good. I'm like, ah ha ha, yeah, I totally didn't just trace it. When I totally just did. That's exactly how they look. Yeah, I'm glad I did an accurate representation. If I were to try to draw a wolf on my own at 9 years old, it's just sad. You know, I do have a folder of my old wolf drawings in them. Because when I was a kid, I don't think I had sketchbooks. I think I just drew on copy papers. And I had this whole story with wolves that could shapeshift into people. And there was like a whole tribe of them outside in the wilderness, and like the whole story is based upon my own dog, and it was cute for being a little kid, and I was probably maybe 10 or 11 when I actually did that. But yeah, like the whole story was, oh, my dog, who's actually like part wolf or whatever, ends up running away and joining this whole pack of wolves and saving them, and they're like magic wolves. And I had all the drawings of them, and they were all the... Okay, someone just let in my kitty because she was probably waiting at the door trying to get in, like I said she would. And there she goes meowing. Come here, child. Come here and give mother love. I love my cat. But either way, I had those magic wolves, and like these hunters would try to kill them, and it was a very bloody tale, to be honest. Like within the first 3 pages that I wrote, I had the person who was me inside my story die from a venomous snake bite. I had a very strange and morbid childhood mind. And as a kid, people asked us, oh, what's your favorite kind of movie? And I'd say, I like violence. Not gonna lie, I said, I like violence. But either way, I have all those drawings of my weird mannequin-like people with their mitten hands, because the way I would draw hands when I was a kid was literally just this. These were my hands, because I know I couldn't do them good, so I just said this. And that's a really good cop-out for when you're a little kid. Oh my gosh. Someday when I get an actual video camera, I gotta look through that and explain those, just talk about those characters. Cause like, I had all these weird names, and they had all these weird colored hairs and shaped hairs, and they weren't real wolves. I mean, they were pink wolves and purple wolves, and there was this wolf that was blue with yellow stripes with 10 tails and 10 white tails with yellow stripes. It was bad. Sabrina says, I'm trying to get away from the anime style. No one can escape. I'm being sucked in. Yeah, pretty much. Anime style is pretty much that. And you know, I started with the anime style, and I feel like I still have an anime style, but slowly but surely, I just looked at all these references, mostly on Pinterest, mostly inside the last month, maybe? And I was just looking at them, and I was like, oh wow, look at all those cool shaped eyes. Look at how many shapes you can put the eyes. Look how big they are. Look at that variety. Okay, I'm gonna put that inside my work. Oh, look at those, the way those noses are. And I'm mostly coming from the perspective of a person who draws humans, because that's what my main focus is. Like, oh, look at the way this face is shaped. Look at all these different ways you can shape the faces, and look at all these different body types. And slowly I incorporated more and more into my drawing until my anime art style turned into a semi-realistic anime cartoon-ish style. So the thing is with it is just, when it comes to drawing, do whatever feels natural, and as you learn more and more through just looking up tutorials and references, as you learn more and more just of how many different variations and shapes can be inside those, try to incorporate that more into your drawing. If you have an original character, then try to give them different parts of their body that don't look like the normal anime-esque style. Like, hey, they have pointy noses. Try to give them a round button nose, or a large kind of cooking nose, or Roman nose, or something like that. I'm going to take a sip really quickly. Put my cap on this ground. Give them high cheekbones, or give them a strong jaw, something like that. It doesn't really matter if it's anime style or not. You know, I'm fine with anime style. I'm fine with people who like to draw anime style. Draw anime style as much as you want. But don't try so hard to draw anime style that you literally draw these eyes, which that's what I did when I was a kid. These eyes, and you have this hair, you know? And that's just the thing that you gotta do with art, is that have your own style, go ahead, but try to incorporate the realism and the different variations into your own style. And that will slowly just make it more unique, make it more believable, make it more realistic, and just make it look all the more better. And let me see really quickly if I can, let me think if I can find a picture that I did a long time ago. Oh, not that long ago, but more or less when I was drawing, but I didn't actually start trying to put in the variations in the people. Let me look. I'm not gonna look on the other thing. I'm looking to see if I can find it on a tablet, so that then I could pull it up on my computer, and etc, etc. You know, I probably can't find it. I probably cannot find one on digital. Yeah, I don't think you can find it on digital. My digital is just a mess. My digital art gallery is just a mess. But either way, it's hard to do, but it's just a slow and strenuous process of slowly incorporating more and more things. And I'm still taking a long time to try to incorporate mouth shapes, mouth sizes, nose shapes, nose sizes, all those things into those. I keep pressuring myself to be amazing at art like you, but for some reason I can't get it through to my mind that I'm only 12. I'm so young, but I'm pressuring myself to be super good. Any advice? That is a tough question, because I did that when I was a kid. Everyone would tell me that my art was really good, because I'm not gonna lie, it was good for my age. It was really good art for my age and where I was standing. But then I would see other people's arts, professionals, and I would get angry and beat myself up for that because I wasn't those people. And the way that I think of it at that, honestly, the way that I do it when I see people who are better than me and I try to force myself to be better than them, I just stop for a second. I think, I'm not the best at this thing in art, but you know what? I have a talent that they don't have. I'm better at them than something. They're better at me than something. I'm better than them at something, so I feel better about it. More or less, I try to just make myself feel better by reminding myself that, hey, I can do something that they don't. But that's not very good advice, is it? I'm just thinking, because It's really hard, and I still do that. I still see people inside my life, and I think, geez, I'm not as good as them. I can't character design like them. I can't use colors like them. Gosh, I'll never be good enough. And I'm trying to think of something to say. I know you can't just stop thinking that way because it's kind of programmed into our minds to think that way, and that's why we do it so much. I'm so young, but I'm pressuring myself to be super good. No, it's always good to pressure yourself. That's one thing I have to say. Is it's always good to realize when you need to be better, and then to pressure yourself to be better. Because there's a lot of people I see on the internet who are young and who aren't very good at art, but you know, they're trying their hardest, and they find a comfortable medium where they're not that good, but they're not that bad either, and then they stop there, and then they never pressure themselves to be better in the end. And you could look at them. I've seen people who are really, they finally get into that where I'm like, okay, they're finally improving, that's good. Their anatomy's looking a little better, cool. And I'll forget about them for a while. I'll come back a few years later and I'm like, oh yeah, this person, how are they doing? And they're still drawing the same exact way. So it's always good to pressure. It's always good to pressure yourself. But it's never good to pressure yourself so much that it ends up hurting you. Because when you can't be better, then you feel really bad about itself. A lot of times, drawing is a lot like doing any other subject in school. Like doing math or doing history. In a way, pressuring yourself to be better at art is the same way as pressuring yourself to know more at math. In order to do that, you need to study. And by studying, you need to draw from life. And you gotta use references. One thing that always helped me with my life and my drawing is to look up anatomy. Just look up anatomy. And then draw for hours on end just anatomy. Look at the muscles. You don't have to know all the names of the muscles. You don't gotta know them. You have to know how they're shaped. You kinda know how they work. You keep studying that and you'll eventually be better, but I don't know. I guess that's all the advice I have because I keep doing that to myself too. I'll see people who are the same exact age as me and I'm like, they're better at me than this drawing. They're the same exact age. They're so much more amazing than me. Or they'll be younger than me, and I'll feel so bad about it. I think, I am older. Why am I not better than them? And it's just where talent lies. You should take up public speaking. It sounds like you have rehearsed this or something. That's what Sabrina said. Thank you. I haven't rehearsed it. Honestly, I mean, you could probably tell since you just asked that, and I don't know. Thank you for the compliment, though. I always feel like I'd be good at public speaking. I mean, I always have a lot of arguments for things. I talk a lot. I love arguing or discussing points. It's just something for me. Everyone always tells me I should be a lawyer. Might be a lawyer. Don't know. Looking to be something else, though. But yeah, public speaking has never bothered me, though. A lot of people, it bothers them. I always get panic attacks, but that's just because I have anxiety. It has nothing to do with the public speaking. And then I'm a lot better at it because I've been doing it a lot more. But thank you. I hope I helped in any way. Then again, another thing you gotta keep in mind is, for a few years I did kind of have miniature discussions with myself about art and pretending that there were other people there. So, in a way, I have rehearsed it in my mind a lot. because I've had conversations with myself when there was no one there. I don't know if people do that normally. Or pretend someone's there and then talk about what they've learned or something. It's stuff that they're better at. Sabrina says, I feel like I could just tell you all my problems. I can't even talk to my parents like this. No, that's such a sweet compliment. To tell me that you feel like you just tell me everything that's on your mind. Thank you. I try to put off an air, and I try to make people feel comfortable around me. Like they could end up feeling comfortable around me. Like I was a person that they could be friends with, even though they might not know me very well. I always try to be that person, even though in reality, I might not actually be that person, but I try my hardest to be. And I understand not being able to talk to your parents about all the things. I'm not even gonna say, like, oh, that's sad, because I feel that way a lot with my parents, too. I mean, a lot of times with parents, it's hard for them to understand because they grew up in a whole different generation, and they say, oh, when I was your age, things were different, and that's the reason why they can't connect to us better. That I've heard my psychologist saying is that a lot of times parents think they can connect to their children, and they think their children should act a different way, but because they grew up in a whole nother generation, they don't understand youth's problems. Now I'm just taking a psychological turn to things because that's what I do with everything. Parents just don't understand children as much as they would like to. And that is kind of sad that the people that you're supposed to be able to look up most to in your life always have the mindset of everything is how it still was back 30 years ago, however old your parents would be. Well, times change, and so do the people. I'm super glad that you're comfortable around me. Let me just try to get a line like this. But just gonna say, be careful who you're comfortable around on the internet. Like, too comfortable. Gonna suddenly be a internet safety PDA. Don't ever tell anybody where you live. Never invite anyone from the internet to your house unless you have a legal guardian or somebody there who can protect you and supervise it. Even if you're, 30 years old and you're like, okay, I'm gonna meet this person I met on the internet. Do it in a public place. Never say, okay, I'm gonna meet you in your windowless van in front of your house. I mean, be cautious around me even though I am just a small girl sounding voice, whatever. You never know, I could be using a robotic voice. I could be a 50-year-old man. I promise I'm not, but I don't have proof. So, yeah, just gonna be a little quick PDA service, and I just said, I rehearse things in my mind and kind of talk to myself like this, but it's more like playing scenarios on how things could go wrong. Yeah, I do that too. I argue a lot inside my mind. Because for me, I'm weird. I think that arguing is fun. I just am having the time of my life when I argue with people. And they get so angry at me and they say, okay, you know what, we should stop. I think we're straining our relationship. I'm like, what? I thought we were having fun. So whenever I want to argue, I just have to argue with myself. And I come up with such good points. I'm always right. But then again, I'm the only one who's having an argument when it's inside my mind. But yeah, playing scenarios on how things could go wrong. Yeah, a lot of people do that, you know? I do it too. Kind of just thinking about how much worse it could end up being. Or what to do when things go wrong. And I feel like that's almost a human nature of things. To kind of just think about how things could go wrong. And I feel like in a way humans are just fascinated in all the wrong and all the bad in the world. And when you hear about good things that happen, it's kind of like you don't really care too much. But when you hear about devastating earthquake or something, it's just, you know, you just kind of feel way more interested in that. And I believe I heard something like that when I was reading Dante's Inferno, which, if you don't know, I wouldn't really be surprised if you don't know, because it's like a really high-class literature, but it's about a dude who went into the 7 rings of hell. And it's just about his exploration throughout hell. And it's like a depiction of how it would look and how it would work. And something that somebody said about that when they were talking about the book was that the human mind is much more interested in tragedy and much more interested in the dark side of things than they are the light. People don't care too much about what heaven would be like. I mean, they might care. They hear, oh, it's perfect. Then they're like, fine. They hear hell, and they're like, oh, it's torturous. And they're like, give me more information. A morbid curiosity. And it's just weird how not all humans have that. I mean, my mom read that. You know, she's my teacher, and she's just like, oh, I don't have that. And I'm like, I do. I have a very morbid mind. A lot of people have that. It's just normal. As long as you don't act upon it and become a sociopath when you're older, it's fine. I promise I'm not a 50-year-old man, but I don't have proof. Over-medicated 2017. Yep. Ah. Oh. Okay then, well, real mind's down. I'm just kind of making sure this looks right, you know? I feel like I'm missing the eyelashes. I mean, you wouldn't see it because the hair is in the way, but you still feel like it's missing, so you kind of still have to put it in even though it looks kind of colored. Because it feels like you're missing even though it wouldn't see it. I wonder how long this stream has been going on for. This has been a fun stream. Oh, almost 2 hours. That's nice. Oh, okay, I pulled up the wrong thing. Keep pulling up the wrong things. Haha, go me. I have to be more careful with those lines. So I guess since there's a bit of silence, so I could talk about some stuff that happened yesterday. 'Cause yesterday was a crazy day. I said we celebrated Mother's Day before on yesterday instead of today, but also I went shooting for the first time in my life. My dad and his friend took me out to a range. His friend is really into shooting and had a couple of guns, and my dad has a couple of guns. We just went out to a range and I shot a revolver, a really small little handgun that was from my great-grandmother, and a rifle. And I liked the revolver a lot more than everything else because it didn't have a kick. And it was nice and small. The rifle didn't have a kick either, which was surprising. I expected it to have a big kick. This is a big old gun that you had to rest on your shoulder. But the revolver was really nice. It just felt nice. And I like the small guns, you know? You wouldn't get too many teenage girls being like, yeah, I like guns. Like real guns, not actual muscle guns. But either way, it was fun. I shot a lot of things. On one of the targets, there's a butterfly. It stayed there for over an hour. It was just sitting on the target. And every time we would shoot, it would jerk a little bit, its wings would jerk, and then it would just kind of slowly just sit there. We had two different targets, so he was sitting on the one that we weren't using because we weren't gonna shoot and hurt the butterfly. There were a lot of butterflies. Eventually, Dad's friend started shooting at that target, and he probably felt it moving and left. That was pretty cute. Just a little butterfly sitting there on the target. I actually woke up at 1 a.m. to go there. Not 1 a.m., 5 a.m. We left at about 1 p.m. Got home around that time. And after that, we celebrated Mother's Day by, I got some money and I took Mom out shopping to a scrapbook store, and I got $50 for her to spend on scrapbooking stuff. Some of it was my dad's money, some of it was my money. Having $50, I was just like, okay, we're going to a scrapbook place because she loves scrapbooking, and we spent almost 2 hours there. And get this, she spent $145. Oh my gosh, she spent over $100. Over $100. It was insane. And she ended up paying that on her own. Sabrina says, sorry, I'm not talking about much right now. I'm drawing feet. How do you draw feet? Alright then. Feet. Feet are always pretty simple for me. I'm guessing you're talking about human feet. Feet for me, I always kind of draw them as two balls when I'm going to draw. And you kind of just slope it upwards. And then you have a little sole right there. Little thing. I mean, this is just what I usually do for feet. And then you go up into the ankle. I mean, feet are usually pretty easy when you're drawing side view. I mean, the way it could look is just different perspectives of just these little balls. And for front view, have the ankle again, another circle. Look at that, fun looking circle, and then just the other circle in the front. And how you would draw this is just, oh, this is so tilted I can already tell. Like, look at that, horrible sketch, but I'm just trying to show what it would look. You kind of just make it look a little smaller. I mean, this isn't the best feet in the world. Yeah, those aren't very good feet. One thing I gotta say, always, whenever you're wondering up feet, human feet anatomy. Boom, all the how do you draw feet you can ever want. You just study these, you'll be amazing at drawing feet in no time. A lot of times, feet, I usually just simplified it to this. As you can see, I'm not very good at tutorials. Let me see if drawing at one. Yeah, I always am better at doing this. You know, you just kinda, and eventually you'll get better at drawing feet, and then you could kinda do it from memory, and toes are always a lot harder. And always remember, if you draw shoes, then you don't have to draw feet. Well, you don't have to draw feet anatomy correct, you just have to draw the shoe correctly. Which is great. You kinda have to make it stick out a bit, and then goes up into a leg, and then you get little ankle right there. Toe, usually you can't see too many toes like this. Feet from the front view are always a lot hard. I never really draw them front view. As you saw, I tried to draw in front view. It was bad. Usually I kind of draw them off to the side, like this. Now that's how I usually would draw the feet. And you could try to make it a little bit more detailed. You know, always gotta make sure them are the correct number of toes, unless your character loses toes. Let's see, it's not the best. I'm not very good at feet. I'm a lot better at hands than I am with feet, which is a lot of things that people can't say, because hands are literally just logs on weird flat surface. Yeah, that's how I would usually draw feet. Always look up references, always, every single time. Feet are hard. Sometimes I will just not draw full body because feet are a pain. They are. But you gotta draw them sometimes. You can always look up how to draw feet. I mean, those are always really helpful too. I will do it myself. How to draw feet. Yeah, showing you results for how to draw feet. You can see from stuff like this that always helpful too, because they show a block or the general shape of it. How to draw feet. They have a lot of feet where you can look at. The thing I have to say is always look at pieces, look at these. If you really want to be good, spend maybe 3 hours just drawing these. Just drawing this. I always say that I could draw anything. You know that? I always say, I can draw anything. When people ask, so what can you draw? I'll say, I'm best at humans, but I could draw anything. As long as I practice for a little bit, I could do anything you need me to be able to draw. And so that usually takes a while, because I might spend a whole entire day just studying on how to draw them, but in the end, you could get it done. I remember one time I spent an entire day learning how to draw bears, so I could draw one bear for a comic. Just one picture of a bear. I don't know how to draw bears anymore. I learned, and then I immediately forgot. But I didn't use that information for anything good other than comic. But yeah, if you ever need to know how to draw feet, if you ever need to know how to draw anything, just look up how to draw it. A lot of times you'll get it blocked out, and it's so much easier to block things out. And when I draw, usually I start the sketch off with actual blocks. Like this, These are just cylinders. This is a square with some strange hinge on it. These are other cylinders, more cylinders, weird blocky shapes. You know, when you pull everything down to small, and you just take everything out and break it into just cylinders and boxes and 3D objects, it makes it a lot easier. And then one thing my art teacher always says, you go from general to specific. The most general part of the drawing, and then you slowly work your way into the details. Details are always the last part of a drawing. And I totally agree with her. Sabrina says, I can draw anything if you give me a week. Yeah, some people are slower at learning, and that's perfectly fine. I'm slower at drawing. It took me like 3 hours to put a couple of pictures together in a small collage. I am not proud of myself for that. But I'm just slower at drawing. Some people are slower at learning. Some people just don't start in the first place. Those people are called procrastinators. I would be one of those. Not gonna lie to you, I am one of those. I have to force myself to do it because otherwise then I never would. But that's fine to be not super fast at learning how to draw or learning things. It's perfectly fine. There ain't no law saying that you gotta be perfect. Spend way too much time making sure every single line is perfectly right. And I've seen people draw, and they'll just get one line and they'll be fine, and they could just throw up all these perfect lines. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? But no, I have to go in really small and carefully put them in. And I've never seen somebody actually do that. And everybody just lines things really quickly and really easily. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? How do you line that way? I mean, I get it for traditional drawing, because if you don't do really good the first time around, then it's just sad. Because with traditional drawing, there's no undo button. When you take a pen and you start putting down the lines, you make a little mistake, you can't just erase it and be like, oh, oopsies. Nah, it's there forever. And that's sad. And the sun is right in my eyes. Oh my gosh, I have this tall window that's straight across from me, and when the sun starts to set, it turns right into my eyes. And I need to pull down those curtains every single time, but I don't, because I forget. I don't know if you can hear me, I'm all the way over here. Da-da-da. There we go. And as you can hear, I have a cat. Oh, I almost fell. She was asleep. I bothered her by picking her up. I'm sorry, cat. You're just so cuddly when you're asleep. You're just a big white ball of fluff. I tried to say white, and I tried to say ball, so I said bite. So that didn't work right. I just rhymed. I am sorry. Incidental rhyming is never fun. I mean, some people like it. I always get extremely annoyed when things rhyme like that. Just incidentally. I always get super angry at myself. I'm just like, why? Why on earth am I doing this? I think I've been doing this for a nice amount of time. It's about 2 hours. I'm not gonna go for 4 hours into this thing. Getting kinda hungry, probably gonna go ask what's cooking for dinner, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this off here. Let me save this. I haven't saved it since I started it. Holy crud. As you can see, I haven't even saved the original drawing. If this had deleted on accident, oh my gosh, I am not smart. I don't know what to call this person. Let me just say Pastel Babu. Okay, there we go. Perfect. But either way, I think I'm gonna stop this here. I think this is where I'm gonna end it. You know, probably come back to this later in the week to finish it. Might not. I mean, I will finish it, but I don't know if I'll do it in a live stream. Because for orders, I always put it on type priority, so I never know. And I always hate it when I do that. Either way, this is gonna be it. Thank you for talking to me, Sabrina. And oh, I'm trying to draw a hand holding something. It is so hard. You know what? Look up hands. Go up to somebody inside your family, just hand them like a cup or a water bottle, whatever you're trying to have them hold, and say, hold this, it's for art. And then just maybe take a picture of the hand and use that as a reference. References are amazing. But either way, I still have to go. Just wanted to leave you with that. I'll talk to you later. See you later. Thank you so much for being here and being so supportive. It was nice.